Hi, everyone. This is Mark and Shelley Nye, and today we're going to talk about research tips. Researching a whole family at a time will help you to visualize or paint a picture about the family's living circumstances. It is then easier to recognize correct records when you come across them. Looking at the images will help you to know the details about them. Census records can help you know if the family lived in an apartment, or maybe on a farm, or maybe in a boarding house. Notice who was working. What was their occupation? You might see occupational trends in a family because father would teach their son and they had opportunity maybe to get a referral for the same place to work. And so you'll want to pay attention to occupations. Another question you might ask is, what age did the children start to work in a family to help support the family? What was the typical age of marriage of their daughters? Who were the witnesses? Who gave permissions for the wedding? Researching the whole family will make family migration patterns easier to see, and naming patterns will be easier to identify. Did they name their children after their parents, the grandparents, maybe their siblings? Notice the typical number of years between a generation to help you identify people with the same names. Men with the same name also might be a brother, an uncle, a father, a nephew, or a grandson. Sometimes these men would choose to use their middle name or initials to identify who they were. So, also, sons might be given the mother's maiden name as a first or middle name. Notice in land and tax records who paid the taxes for the females, particularly. Women were not allowed to pay taxes for themselves in earlier times or represent themselves in a court of law. Notice the men that were doing that for them. Sometimes, if you're paying attention to these surnames, you may find brother in laws, sons in laws, and a variety of relationships. Knowing about the whole family will help you to recognize what to expect and give you more confidence to recognize the clues that and tell you what you have found. And then you will have more confidence knowing you have found the right record.
As we talk about researching whole families, one suggestion that we want to make is that you always have a pencil or pen and paper as you do your work. It's very helpful to make notes of names, relationships, key dates, places, and especially personal ID numbers as you're working through Family Tree. By visually creating a map of sorts of who is who and how they're related is the best way to go, especially when you start seeing repeated first names between generations. It's helpful to draw that little map so you're clear on who it is you're looking at. One other final point, be sure to attach the record hints you find to everyone who is listed in the document. We've talked about that before, but want to re-emphasize that point. You'll recall from our demonstrations that these record hints are listed on the left side of the attached historical record screen. Please be sure to watch the short video clips that we are posting for demonstrations of how this is done. If you have documents at home that you want to add to a person page in their memories, be sure to watch our session next week titled, "What Family Records Are in Your Attic?" In that session, we will also be demonstrating how to add articles or information clipped from various websites, including old newspapers. We hope you'll join us then, and in the meantime, be watching these short video clips. We hope you are making progress.
See you
Thanks.
later.